We talked at the beginning of this offseason about one of our primary goals going into next year is to improve the bullpen, to provide some arms that will allow us to win those games that we're supposed to win. That was probably objective number one. That is objective number one of this offseason. We had both of the men to my left high on our list early in the offseason, identified them as top targets, and we're fortunate this week to come to agreement with Gregerson and Pat Neshek. They're both going to be joining a great team here, a great organization on the rise, and hopefully be key pieces to taking us to the next level. That's all I've got as introductory remarks. I don't know if you guys want to say anything or open it up for questions.
We can go right to the photo. Why don't we go to the
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold the jersey up first with the
Okay.
name
Yep.
showing them.
For sure.
Just hold it up first. Everybody all get together.
Hold it for TV.
Yeah.
Stay there for TV, guys.
Yep.
Everybody good? Okay, guys, you can put them on along with the house.
Notice the orange tie that Luke got.
Trying to fit in.
Well done.
Trying to fit in. Told you it'd fit.
Take a couple more photos, guys.
Victor, can I stand up real quick? I guess.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
AJ, you want to say a couple words? We'll open up the question.
Yeah, I think next to these two to my right, I'm probably the happiest guy possible. You know, to add these two reliable arms who are used to getting out to the most volatile, most critical time is certainly a luxury for us. So I'm thrilled to add both of them. I've got a little bit of history with them. I trust the human beings. I trust the sort of the heartbeat in both of them, their ability to sort of pitch in any situation. So happy to answer questions when the time comes on them individually. But what this does for our bullpen, from my perspective, along with some internal guys like Chad Qualls and Tony Sipp, Josh Fields, and others, certainly points to some outs and late in games when we need it the most.
Okay, guys, questions?
AJ, Luke had talked about a relationship with you being one of the main reasons he came here. Can you talk about that and what conversations you had, helped kind of close the deal?
Sure. No, when your relationship goes a long way in any of these jobs, but specifically with Luke and I've crossed paths with Pat before as well, and there's a comfort in trust and going, but it's two-way street where they know they're going to get consistency out of me, and I know that they trust me. So having that relationship helps. But first and foremost, these are talented pitchers that get outs against the best hitters in baseball, and they got a track record. They've got a comfort in pitching in like I said, in the most volatile situation possible. And it's not an easy job. A lot of times you get where Luke and Pat are used to pitching. You only get noticed when you mess up or when you give up a run. And I think that relationship at the end, knowing either one of these guys, give up a run or two or have a tough night, they know through relationship with me that they're going to get the ball the next night. They're going to get the ball the next night, and we'll continue to lean on each other to try to get wins. And certainly proud to have played a part in bringing them here, but in reality, where they're at in their career, their talent got them here, and certainly they've earned every opportunity.
How do you sort out who closes with these guys
Second question. I was sort of hoping that was going to be the first one. Yeah, no, you gave me, that's right. So we'll sort it out as it comes. We've got a couple internal guys that were here last year. Certainly both of these guys are capable. And as we get closer to spring, we'll sort it out. We'll meet together as a staff. I'll lean on Brent Strom, our pitching coach, to sort of sort it out. But if I have too many choices, that's a good problem to have from my perspective. And one thing these guys know, I've talked to all of them. They know I'm going to shoot it straight with them. They'll be the first ones to know, and we've got a little bit of time to sort that out. But I'm very comfortable with how this type of addition or these type of additions make our not only just the ninth inning, which is the inning in which everybody points to, but it helps our eighth, it helps our seventh, helps our sixth, and the depth of this bullpen over 162 in this league is going to get taxed, and the more options we have, the better.
Luke, you feel you're ready for a closing of this career? You've been behind some guys who've been some good closers. You think it's your time if you got that opportunity?
Absolutely. I mean, I think I've had this conversation with a lot of people. You get to the 7th, 8th, 9th inning of the game. Some days you're going to face 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Same with the 8th, 9th inning, doesn't really matter. I think they're all very big pressure situations. You guys, have one job to do, and that's get guys out. And I think that if you can do it in the 7th, you can do it in the 8th. I think you can do it in the 9th as well. And I'm open for any opportunity I got here. Whatever they got going for me, for Pat, Chad, whatever it may be. We're here to win. We're here to pitch. We're here to get outs. That's what we're getting paid for.
Pat, you pitched with Luke before, Jack Wells too. How do you think that synergy is going to help you guys off the bat? Because the bullpens really did a lot of camaraderie. Considering you're out in the bullpen and spent a lot of time together, it seems like you guys are kind of ahead of the curve with that.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest factors for me in signing over here was being around quality people. And I know Chad and they mentioned that Luke was going to sign. I didn't know if he was or wasn't, and that played a big role for me. It's going to just having quality guys in the bullpen makes all of our jobs easier. If Luke has always been getting outs all the time, and Qualzy's done his thing forever, and it just it's going to be fun.
AJ, with the addition of these two guys, where's the team now compared to when you took the job? Because Brent almost hugged Jim when he saw him. This is
my best night of sleep I've had since I got the job was the night that we finalized these two additions. Obviously, Jeff speak to building the team, but from the momentum that's created, I got a handful of texts from players today. I've talked to a couple of our coaches last night to let them know that the press conference was today, that this was official, and there's great momentum here, and certainly, and I've spoken to this before, where when you have that comfort as a team, knowing they're trustworthy, experienced guys down at the end of the bullpen to get the most critical outs, to finish off some wins, that's big for a team. There's a real confidence in handing the ball to these guys and a couple others that have some track record that makes it exciting for a team. We get the lead. We certainly have the capable guys to get the last out. So when I first got here, Jeff and I talked about how this offseason was going to shape up, and it's certainly nice to see it come into a reality with this type of move.
Jeff, was it always in the plan to get two guys? I know you went after Miller, who was a closer, would have been a lot more expensive, but was the plan always to get two quality arms and then sort out the closer later?
The plan was to get as many good arms as we can. We do like some of the guys that these guys have talked about, but we also realized the track record over the last few years and a lot of games that we were in or leading going into the 6th inning, we ended up coughing up. And we can't do that this year. We need to win those games. We're at the point in our development where that can make a big difference for us. It will make a big difference for us. So, like I said in the beginning, these are two pitchers that we identified very early in the process. You talk to a lot of them, but once we realized that their interest was genuine and our interest was genuine. And I do think the background had a lot to do with it. We know these guys. Personally, we know them. Our players know them. We have history with them. I talked to a lot of guys in the Cardinal clubhouse that vouched for Pat. I've known Luke since he was drafted, and we know they're going to plug in and fit seamlessly with the guys that we already have. So it was just a real good fit, and to be able to land them both in the same night and bring them both here on the same day, I think it's a great story.
Luke, to be able to work with a pitching coach like Brent, who's really did a great job, and you know him, how big of a benefit is that for you to know the pitching coach?
I think it's always a positive, and not just from an individual standpoint, but just as a pitching unit, whether it's from the starters or the relievers. I think I've come across some really good pitching coaches over the years, and I think they play a pretty integral role in making it work all together. Sometimes guys have days where they don't have it or they lose it for a week. Having a good pitching coach down there is really positive to have when you got guys trying to figure things out themselves and maybe they don't know how, and it's good to have a guy on the outside looking in to point things out, and I think he's proven that he's one of the best at doing that.
Either one of you guys have any history or friendships with any players on the teams outside of the ones we mentioned, like Chad?
I played with Chris Carter in Oakland. I played with LJ Hose in Norfolk when I was with Baltimore for a little bit, and also Sam DeDuno. So.
Look, you mentioned yesterday how with the A's, facing the Astros was kind of tough at times when back in the National League, and you respected their best. Can you talk about that a little bit? I mean, you see some with the talent coming up, you see some guys who are tough out.
Oh yeah, and that's another reason for me coming over here. I feel like it's another decision that I made was watching these guys play and seeing the intensity that they play at and the skill level they play at. A lot of young guys, but they have a lot of talent. And I know coming over here, pitching against them, there was times where I just didn't want to face some of these guys because you never knew what they were going to do up at the bat, And I think that they've progressed very well as a team to the point where, like these guys are doing right now next to us, getting some bullpen arms in there. Some guys can shore up the bullpen a little bit, make sure that when the game does get to the 6th, 7th inning, that we can hopefully hold it down and get those wins for those guys.
Other questions from one of you guys? Berman, you're pretty quiet back there.
Berman's here?
You're pretty quiet back there.
Jeff, what's next? You mentioned infield starting pitching. Any further developments on that you can share with us?
Well, we're not done. We still feel like we can improve this ball club. We like the guys we have on the roster right now, and we like the guys that are coming to camp, but we're always going to look for opportunities to improve the roster, and if we can get a bat and maybe another starting pitcher, that's those two things we're going to continue to look at this offseason.